Hello, my name is Chate. I'm a finance student here in Tennessee. Today I'm going to be going over the Blue Crash Everyday card from American Express and pretty much just kind of give a little insight on what you can expect from the card. Um, if you would like the card long term or not, it's kind of more up to a personal choice, but I will kind of go over what I'll be using the cards for. As we get here, I kind of want to go over what the card looks like. It is actually a translucent type card. It is pretty cool because you kind of see the code that is encrypted within the card, which I think is pretty unique. I also want to go over some of the perks when you sign up for the card, which is like the welcome bonus of $200. If you spend $2,000 within the first 6 months, they credit your account with $200. So however you spend that first $2,000, you will then get 200. So if you want to get say $2,000 worth of tools, but you ended up getting a weed eater, that's exactly 200. So you get the weed eater, say for free. I guess you could say you're paying yourself back for that. So it's pretty much a 10% bonus for after you spending 2,000 is what they're giving you. I actually spent it on a vacation, and I'll go over that in a little bit. The 0% APR for the first 15 months. I always like to open cards. If I have plans to do something within the year, I'll open up a card with 0% APR, use it, and knowing that I'll be able to pay off the card within that time. Use the card with 0%, but instead of having 7%, 15%, 20%, whatever way you pay for your maybe adventures, that's pretty much what I would do. Is use the 0% APR. I don't want to pay an interest expense. That is not what I want to do. I'm trying to use the bank's help for what I'm trying to do in life. I'm not trying to pay them in any kind of interest expense. There's also a $0 annual fee, which I always like cards that are $0 because I don't really see too much of a benefit. I know some have more perks. I will probably end up getting one just to kind of look at it, but I don't plan on holding it very long. Welcome bonus of $200. What I did was this is I went on vacation with the card, and I actually paid for our cabin. We stayed for a week in a cabin, and what that did was it ended up just about giving us one night free. We stayed 5 nights, 6 days, and it was pretty nice. We spent I think just a little bit under, but I also bought something else with the money. I think it was the gas up there. And we got our money back of $200 credited to our account, which we only owed about 1,800 on the card. But I did use the card throughout our vacation to actually experience the card and see how it worked out in the real world. And there was a couple points that were a little disappointing, and I'll probably get into that in a little bit also. The 0% APR in the first 15 months. This is a great time you could kind of invest. Maybe if you want to do like a little gym at home, like $1,000 on it. So you could probably get $1,000 worth of materials for a gym, right? Instead of paying $34 a month for a gym membership, $29, $25, you just pay on this card for about 15 months. And what you can do is you can so say if it's $35 times 15 months, you at $500. So you want to spend $500 equipment, put it at your house if you want, and just pay yourself each month. But don't go to the gym, use that equipment. So it's kind of like an offset trading. Some people like the gyms. I think in the long term, I rather own the material because we all know how that stuff can get expensive sometimes. Also, the 15 months of no interest expense is nice, but to be aware of that, because if you don't pay that off, say we're just going to use a small fee of 100. Say you use $100, it will accrue 24% expense rate over that whole year. But from my understanding, they also I'm not too sure. I think they may be doing a daily interest charge, and I think their daily interest charge is later on in here. We'll go over that in a second, but first we're going to go over what they do allow. They allow free cash back on your first $6,000 of purchases at U.S. supermarkets, which for my size family isn't much. For a single person, maybe even their spouse, that might be pretty good. It's pretty good. It is has a nice 3% back. The issue is if you shop at Sam's Club, Costco, anything that takes like memberships to get into the stores, for what it's pretty much mentioning right here is that you only get 1% cash back. So sometimes I do actually go to Sam's Club. Sometimes I do. If I'm at by Costco, I'll stop by Costco. Like I don't want to be limited. So I don't like that, but 3% is still pretty good. Say you shop at one specific, like Kroger. If you shop at Kroger, you shop at Food Lion, Bash's, Safeway. I don't think any of those are membership based or warehouse style. I think you should be fine. The 2% cash back at the U.S. gas stations. There's also a limit, I believe. No, there's not a limit on that one, but it's not too bad. The average person doesn't spend too much on gas, about 2,000 a year. I'll go over that I think in another slide. 1% cash back on other purchases. It's not too bad. There's other cards with better interest rates. Cash back cash back interest. Getting that cash back percentage. So we'll go talk about the gas stations. The same stipulation with the 2% cash back is that you only get 1% cash back. Say if you're at Sam's Club, Sam's Club's the only one that's close by for us that does that type of warehouse. Well, no, well, I don't think Food City is a warehouse one, so I'm not too sure. But I know Sam's Club would be one of them that isn't. And so I looked it up. The average person drives 14,500 miles a year with the average gas price of today's price of $4.50. It is really high. I know there will be, that's in Tennessee, okay? I know in other places it's quite a bit higher, but on the average it's about $4.50. I know that in time these prices will subside and come down. When? I don't know. I say the next 18 months or less. You even in 2008 to 2009, even in the early pandemic. I think that was actually the last time. I wasn't here. I was actually living in Germany due to a job. But yeah, the bear markets, it shouldn't last longer than a year. So, and it should start climbing after that. We're hopeful. We'll see how we go. I still think the economy is really strong. Everywhere I go, they're man under. Like they don't have enough people all on vacation. There was not enough people everywhere, and people were spending. Will the spending continue? Probably not. Probably not. Of course not. They're That's not how that works. So that's not how economics works. Anyways, so with an average gas price of today's price of $4.50, using a 2022 Honda Civic as our daily driver, which is mine, I get 32 miles per the gallon. I actually had a Nissan Titan, and I sold it during the time where it was at a peak. I actually sold it for a gain, a capital gain. I bought it brand new, never put cash down. I should not have had a gain, and I had a gain of $9,800, and I put it down on this vehicle. And I could buy myself a Honda Civic because I had an idea fuel was going to get expensive. So now this is my daily driver. On that car, I probably use about 454 gallons of fuel is used each year. So I spend about $2,043 a year on fuel. With 2% cash back, I get back about $40, about $41, $40.86. So I ended up getting pretty much at that price is I'm getting about one tank for free. So 350 miles, I'm paying myself back. The way I look at it, I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's better than nothing. So the 3% cash back at the supermarkets, this is one of the best returns at supermarkets I have seen. A little drawback is the $6,000 limit. I'm telling you right now, I spend probably about 12 to 13. I do have a pretty big family. We spend about 12 to 13, so double. So that means I have to have two separate cards and whatnot, and I'm just not a big fan of that. I will be the next card I go over will be the Capital One Saver card. I've been using that card for a few years now. This one was about a 4 or 5 month trial. This American Express card. So, some of the tips I do for the Amex card for all credit cards that I associate with or use in any kind of way, always pay your card off before the billing cycle. So, pretty much I pay mine every 3 weeks, as I never want to accrue any interest expense. I mean, that's where the banks and these cards make their money is you paying the interest expense. That's just that's a way they get money. Most banks and big corporations, I guess you could say, with money is off commercial real estate, mortgage loans, stuff like that. For what I've been told by bankers, that's where a lot of their money comes from is interest expense. That's how it goes. It's up to you to avoid that. And to do that, you pay it every 3 weeks. You use the card for its benefits, like I used the Amex for its 2,000, got that 200 back. I used it. I checked it out the statements for a couple months to see how it worked on just typical everyday stuff, I'll get into that. It wasn't that I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, you can. I stopped using like I don't see a whole lot of benefit with 1% cash back. It is a good entry card. About 650 to 700 credit score, you can get one of these cards. Example of a daily interest. So I actually got this kind of off their site, but made my own. So say you bought a TV and a surround sound. People do that all the time for about $1,000, $500 TV, 300 for surround sound, and say a chair. I don't know. But say you kind of do something like that. You spend $1,000. Daily interest rate of 20 is this is what your daily interest rate is going to be is about 56 cents a day. Your yearly interest expense will come out to $204.77. So you'll pretty much be paying $1,204.77 back if you don't pay it off. But again, with that 0% APR, you can go ahead and just there's no interest, pay it off within a year, pay $100 a month, 70. Well, you wouldn't even need to do that. Probably what if you spent $1,000 divided by 15 months, you could spend $66.66. 67 because it'd probably round up the computer. Anyways, that's probably what you would pay is about $67 a month on with this card. It's not bad. It's a good basic entry card to kind of build your credit. Pros and cons and overall would I use this card again? $2,200 credit. I'm going to keep talking about that. I like to do that. I do that with all my credit cards. If they have a bonus, I max it out. I get what I need, like an extra tool for a job or whatever. I pay off what I'm already going to do, and thank you for the 200 back, the 10% back. That's 10% back of my money. That's pretty much tax free on whatever events I've had in those. Decent cash back on the supermarkets. Not sure for a family size. Again, I think I looked up the average human eats about $4,500 a year of food. So if you have a family of two, you're already over that. So maybe there might be cards better out there. I do think Capital One is better. I think if say you shop at Walmart, use the Walmart Capital One card, 5% cash back. That's half your taxes back each time. So we'll go over that card later on. The card is not accepted everywhere. This was a super annoying event that I had. I think we actually went to a steakhouse and they did not accept American Express, and I felt pretty full. I had to run out. It was actually pretty intense because there was actually a bear who actually came to the tree. A wild bear came to the tree because it's up in the Smoky Mountains, and he started eating. And then here I am running to get a different card. So, no, that's another thing I don't. Some places don't use the American Express, and there's been about 3 places I've kind of felt foolish. After the first time, I need to always have my other card inside my wallet with me. Limits to groceries is 6,000 yearly. I'm going to keep going over that. I don't like that. I don't like to be limited. I don't want to be limited on that exact amount. I'll go over to the Capital One next. We will be going over the Capital One Saver card. I actually like the card quite a bit. I like Capital One. I've never had issues with Capital One. I've had great interest rates on vehicles, great interest rates on cards, and just great entry cards and everything like that. So we'll go over that. Until then, I hope you all spend wisely. Please spend wisely. These cards, I'm literally saying, if you know you're getting $1,000 within a couple weeks or months, get a card, 0% APR, use it. Get that cash back, that credit back, you're pretty much going to pay yourself 10% back of whatever you spend. So that's just a way to kind of use this. So I hope you all have a great day.